Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Next one.
All right, so now let's pick up the regular reports on the agenda. So moving back to item 8, the Capital Project Performance Report. And Ruth, thank you for waiting. Welcome to the table. Yeah, any introductory remarks that you've got on this report, please?
Great, thank you very much. Good morning, still morning. So the Capital Project Performance Report in front of you, captured as of the 20th of October. So I'll take the report and its full content as read. I will provide a couple of opening remarks. So current financial year performance on page 39. So against a budget of 514, project managers are forecasting 520. So if we look at the core program only, which excludes the Metro Sport and CMUA, which sit above the line, project managers are currently forecasting 450. So still in a position of a bring back of 45 million. So spend to date at 20th of October was 95 mil. So that is comparable to spend to date that we've had in previous financial years around the same time. Noting, of course, last financial year we delivered 388 despite COVID lockdown and restrictions. So we are, at present would expect to improve on that result this financial year. So I'll talk a little bit about that bring back. You will see that that has reduced month by month with the current forecast now much closer to budget than it has been. And that is a common trend as we progress through the financial year. But I don't think it's a major cause for concern that that trend will continue on that downwards rate. So to elaborate on that, I just want to talk a little bit about our current state as well as performance against our historical trends. So we have 300 projects in construction at the moment. We've got 344 million forecast against them, and that compares to last year where we had 243 projects forecasting 243 million. That's not a mistake, it is the same number. 243 projects and 243. So we are still forecasting a bring back of 45 mil, which is well ahead of the last 3 financial years, where at this point in year we were actually forecasting an average of 37 below budget, so a carry forward. So that means, we'll suggest that we're in a far better position this financial year to tolerate a level of uncertainty and delay. You'll recall last month I talked a little around accuracy of forecasting. We're still reasonably accurate with our forecasting. We've projected that model for the last 12 rolling months. This month, with accuracy of forecast gone to a more granular level at delivery unit. So that's ranging at present between 80% accuracy and 94% accuracy. So if we modelled that out to the financial year, we'd end up with a result of around about 395 against the 405. On pages 47 to 49, you'll see the project exceptions that are contributing to those carry forward and bring back numbers. So those are the projects that are holding the biggest deviation from the original financial year budget that was approved. And COVID claims are the final update that I want to provide. So at the time of writing, COVID claims were static from previously reported in September. But since the writing of this report, we've resolved another 6, and we only have 5 to resolve out of the 46. So we will provide you a final view with all of the details around costs relating to those COVID claims once they're fully resolved. Now happy to take any questions.
Excellent, thank you. So just looking at this bring back of 45 million, obviously we'll keep a close eye on that as we get these reports throughout the financial year. Are you expecting that figure to erode as the year goes on? Are you expecting the final bring back figure to be less than that?
Yeah, I'd say so, because what we try to do with delivery units is try and accelerate the early planning phases and projects to tolerate a level of delay for projects that are in construction. So as we do, which you cannot predict, experience some unforeseen delays, that forecast will go down on those projects in construction. But we try and kind of balance that out by accelerating those early planning and other projects.
Yep. And noting that we remain focused on delivering the 405 core programme. So this is a good news story, but obviously we'll be keeping an eye on that figure in future reports.
Yep.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this report? Jimmy.
Page 57, the project of Horsewell Junction Road extension. Regarding to the approved budget, sorry, and the current forecast, I'm not sure. I remember a couple of months ago, staff told me that we signed already signed the funding agreement between council and the Kiwi Rail. Am I right? Now you're funding 9.1. Now forecast 12.4. So this additional $2.5 million is from Kiwi Rail pay or is from council to contribute to this one? I'm confused.
Very low chair, sorry.
Yeah.
You got the chair this time.
Okay, yeah. $2.5 million.
It's council costs for Kiwi Rail infrastructure upgrades.
Yeah, so council contribute.
Council pay.
But we signed agreement is how much? 9.5 or 12.4?
No, we signed an agreement to cover the costs of the project.
12.4.
We signed an agreement to cover the costs as they come in.
Yes.
And the costs have gone up, yes, to 12.4.
Oh.
That's the estimated cost. We are working very hard to try and get the costs down.
Okay.
But we are responsible for quite a significant upgrade to the Kiwi Rail network because of the position that we want to put the road across the rail network.
Okay. Last time your information mentioned the detailed design from Kiwi Rail still going on. So up to now, what's update status?
It's still ongoing.
But when will it be finished?
I can't tell you that level of detail at this meeting, I'm afraid. That was updated in the meeting. Kiwi Rail are responsible for progressing that, and we are meeting with them monthly to follow that progress.
Okay. And also regarding to the current forecast delivery date, last time you mentioned is in June 2022, but now it's 1 month earlier in May 2022, whether there's a Kiwi Rail commitment or not. 1 month before, earlier.
These updates that you receive in these reports monthly
Yes.
are informed by our monthly meetings with Kiwi Rail as to how we're going against progress. So, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Mike.
Thank you. I'd just like to follow on the same topic in terms of Kiwi Rail, and I guess because that's not the only project that I guess is not moving forward because of Kiwi Rail. When we look at some of the level crossings we have up in Upernui with both Herwood Road and Langdons Road, which actually is getting, I think, to be quite a high risk situation with the amount of people now using that shared path. And I just want to know what we can do to actually progress this, because it's not acceptable for the community to actually have to actually navigate that road.
So, one correction, if I may. They are progressing and they are moving forward. Hallsville Junction Road is moving forward. We have completed all of our work required, and they are moving forward and are purchasing product, and they are completing designs. We are doing the same on all of our other projects. We met with management from Kiwi Rail just late last week. Sorry, the weeks are merging together a little bit at the moment. Late last week, and all of the projects are moving forward, and to be fair to Kiwi Rail, the 5 extra crossings came on about 3 to 4 months ago when we got the approval for the shovel-ready money. So they came on the program then. So we are progressing it, and we're agreeing a program with Kiwi Rail, and we're trying to get it running.
Okay. The Herwood Road's been there for a while.
Yep.
So when can we actually start seeing a shovel in the ground at the Herwood Road level crossing?
You're at least 12 months away from that.
And there's no way we can speed that up.
Oh, that's what I've been told.
Pauline.
Thank you. My question's on page 54, and it's the Three Waters contract management. So, I don't know, insufficient funding to complete the full project scope, the risk of IT and business not being available, e.g. SAP specialists. Can you explain a little bit more about what that actually means, please?
I'm not sure if I've got anyone from IT in here. My interpretation of that is all IT projects rely on subject matter experts within the business to be able to deliver on scope items. And as you are aware, many people are stuck in business as usual, as they are also have demands on projects as well. And so we can't often always predict the demands that business as usual and projects might have. And so therefore projects are quite often delayed due to availability of resource. So I suspect that the wording there is in relation to resource availability.
Yes, sounds like it. Could we perhaps get a memo enlarging on that, because we have identified that this is a very important area to us, and if it's a resourcing issue we need to address that in the LTP potentially.
Ruth, can I suggest that it's a conversation between Leonie and Dave about reprogramming?
Yeah.
Thank you. Melanie.
This is for Lynette as well, sorry. It's just, and it's the line under the Hallsville Junction one, but it's about the road lighting LED project. So, yeah, can you just speak to that?
It's on the other chair. Sorry. Where am I? What page are you
Can
on?
you remind us the page?
Oh,
number?
sorry, it's 57,
Oh yeah, just a bit there.
second to bottom row.
LED. Oh, yes. So the LED. The LED replacement upgrade is, I hope you're aware, has a 85% FAR, so we pay 15% of costs in NZTA, reimburse 85% equivalent costs. There was equivalent of 3-month delay in that contract as a result of the COVID situation, which means the contract is entitled to an extension of time. NZTA have advised that they will only pay eligible subsidy for materials that are purchased and installed up until the end of June, so they haven't extended the period of subsidy. And I think that's a reality in their world. With my understanding is there's this reality in their world around the NLTP cycles. They can't roll over subsidy agreements into the next NLTP cycle, so they won't do that. But we're working with our contractor to try and install as much or all, if possible, by the end of this financial year. So they are up resourcing to achieve that, and that's subsidised as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're on board with it.
Yep. The
Okay.
contractor,
Mm.
yes, absolutely, on board with achieving the outcomes and getting it delivered by the end of the financial year.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you. No more questions? Mike?
Just one question, but I don't know if there's staff to answer it. It's around the wellhead conversion, where you've got on the first page of attachment A, and it talks about Trafalgar Street, but then says that 2 wellheads at Farrington Pump Station have been up, gone above ground. So I'm just curious, is it Trafalgar Street that's happened? But I don't.
We may not have
Might have
staff
to come back to you on
that's
that
a
one.
question. If we can get back to you offline, that would be good. Thank you. No further questions? I'm happy to move this. Can I have a seconder? Aaron? Any debate? All those in favour say aye. Against? That's carried. Thanks very much indeed, Ruth.